Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another deep dive.
Yeah, hello again. Today, we're digging into a source that's, well, it's proving really valuable for understanding some key challenges in hospitality.
Absolutely. Especially, thinking about it from the perspective of hotels right here in India, we're looking at excerpts from that great blog series by Arun Kumar Raman.
Right. The 50 mistakes why most hotels fail and how you can succeed. One,
Mhm.
it's very practical stuff,
It really is. And the specific mistake we're tackling today is number 40 in his list.
which he calls failing to train staff on cultural sensitivity can offend guests.
Mhm.
Sounds simple, maybe, but when you unpack it,
Oh, it's huge. The impact is profound, as he points out. It goes way beyond just, having nice rooms or good food.
totally. This gets right to the heart of what hospitality is supposed to be about, doesn't it? Making people feel genuinely welcome, understood, comfortable.
And the source is really clear on this.
Mm,
You could pour money into luxury, top-tier facilities, maybe even a world-class restaurant,
right.
but all that effort, all that investment, it can just go down the drain instantly because of one negative interaction.
Just one. And it's often rooted in that lack of cultural understanding.
It really highlights the power of the human element. Arun Kumar Raman points out that something seemingly small,
Yeah, like what?
like maybe a word choice that's off, or a joke that just doesn't land because it's culturally insensitive, or even just staff behavior that comes across as clueless because they aren't aware of different norms.
And boom, the guest's whole stay is soured. That positive vibe you worked so hard to build, gone. Just like that.
And the fallout he describes, it's pretty serious. It's not just a minor annoyance for the guest.
No, not at all. The blog spells out guests can feel so disrespected or just plain uncomfortable that they decide, nope, never coming back here.
So you've lost their future business right there, and potentially, any friends or colleagues they might have told about your place.
Exactly. And these days, it rarely stops there, doesn't it? That bad experience is very likely heading straight online.
Oh, absolutely. A negative review detailing how they felt culturally misunderstood or worse, offended. That can be way more damaging than, say, a complaint about the Wi-Fi being slow.
Much more. It hits at that fundamental level of trust and respect. And those reviews, they spread like wildfire across booking sites, social media.
Making your hotel look unwelcoming, especially to international travelers who are probably the ones most likely to encounter these cultural tripwires.
And Arun Kumar Raman notes that this isn't some rare occurrence. He says he sees this lack of cultural sensitivity quite a bit in many Indian hotels.
So it's a widespread issue, potentially holding back a lot of properties.
And it's crucial to get to the root cause he identifies. It's usually not like deliberate malice from the staff. They're not trying to be offensive.
Right.
The core problem, as the source puts it, is a gap in training. Staff just haven't been given the tools, the knowledge, the awareness to navigate these tricky cross-cultural interactions effectively.
They don't know what they don't know,
Yep.
essentially.
Exactly. It's a training failure, but one with really significant negative consequences for the business.
That framing is important, isn't it? It shifts the focus from blaming individuals to recognizing a systemic need for better preparation. And the source really drives this home with some very specific examples.
Yeah, these scenarios make it very real. They show just how easily these unintentional missteps can cause real offense. Should we start with the one about dietary needs?
Yeah, let's do that. He talks about staff offering non-vegetarian food to a foreign guest who's observing a religious fast.
Okay. On the surface, maybe sounds like a simple catering mistake, but the blog explains why it's much deeper.
Right. For someone fasting for religious reasons, what they eat or don't eat is tied directly to their faith, their identity. It's a core part of their spiritual practice.
It's not just a preference like, I don't fancy chicken today. It's about deeply held beliefs. So when staff offer something forbidden, even if they mean well or just don't know,
The guest can feel like their faith is being completely dismissed. Like it doesn't matter. It's not just an error. It's perceived as profound disrespect.
and that immediately makes them feel, well, misunderstood, maybe even a bit vulnerable.
Yeah, you start wondering, do they actually care about me here, or am I just another room number? Especially if you're in a foreign place, try and observe something important to you.
And the people meant to be looking after you get something so fundamental wrong. It's really unsettling.
It shatters trust instantly. If they miss this, what else are they missing?
Exactly. Then there's the other really powerful example Arun Kumar Raman uses about guest privacy. specifically focusing on solo female travelers.
Oh, this is a critical one,
Yeah.
definitely.
The source describes situations where staff might stare at a solo woman or ask really personal questions.
And you have to think, a solo traveler, particularly a woman, in an unfamiliar place, they're probably already more aware of their surroundings, maybe feeling a bit more vulnerable.
Right, maybe a little on guard.
Yeah.
So then, to have the hotel staff, the very people who are supposed to make you feel safe and secure, make you feel watched or, like, interrogated.
That's incredibly damaging. Staring is invasive. It can feel intimidating. And those personal questions, are you married? Why are you alone? Where are you going? That crosses a line for many cultures. It feels intrusive.
It totally shifts the dynamic.
Yeah.
You go from feeling like a welcomed guest to feeling like an exhibit or someone under suspicion. It's not just uncomfortable, it can raise genuine safety worries in the guest's mind.
And the hotel stops feeling like a safe refuge and starts feeling like part of the potential threat. Rebuilding trust after that, almost impossible.
It completely undermines the whole point of hospitality. It's a failure to understand basic cultural norms around personal space, appropriate conversation, just letting someone be.
Just letting them exist without feeling scrutinized. Yeah.
And then he moves on to communication styles, which is also fascinating.
Mm.
He uses the example of Japanese tourists.
Right, where their silent signals are misunderstood, leading to staff getting impatient.
This immediately flags how much communication isn't verbal. Different cultures approach things so differently. Some are super direct, others rely on subtlety, context, even silence.
Yeah, in many East Asian cultures, for instance, being really direct or complaining loudly might be seen as impolite. So they might use more indirect cues or just stay quiet if something's not right.
Exactly. And if your staff are only trained to react to loud, clear, verbal complaints,
Yeah.
well, they're going to miss those signals completely.
They might see politeness or quietness as the guest being difficult or maybe indecisive, and then the staff get frustrated.
Or, flip side, the guests feel like they're communicating clearly in their culturally normal way, and the staff are just being dense or rude by not picking up on it.
It's a total communication breakdown, even if everyone's speaking the same language. Technically, it's about not understanding that unspoken cultural language.
And Arun Kumar Raman also flags things that might seem even smaller but still carry weight, like issues with name pronunciation for a European guest or staff interrupting conversations.
Oh, the name thing. That's basic respect, isn't it? Getting someone's name right shows you see them as an individual.
Absolutely. And repeatedly mangling it, especially if they've corrected you, it feels dismissive. Like you can't be bothered to make the effort because they're not important enough.
It creates this low-level friction that just grates on people. And interrupting, yeah, that's a big one too.
In many Western cultures, and others too, jumping into someone's conversation or interrupting them when they're talking to you is seen as really quite rude.
It implies your thing is more important than whatever they were saying or doing.
Even if the staff member is just trying to be quick or helpful,
Yeah.
maybe their own cultural norm involves more overlapping speech.
The guest perceives it as disrespectful, like their conversation, their thoughts don't matter. They feel devalued.
And this ties back to that crucial point Arun Kumar Raman keeps making. Most of these mistakes are unintentional. Staff don't mean harm, but intent doesn't really matter as much as the guest's perception. If the guest feels uncomfortable, disrespected, offended, that's their reality. That's what sticks.
That's what they remember when they leave and when they write that review.
Exactly. Your intention is irrelevant. If their feeling is negative, you have to train for the perception.
It's a really sobering thought, and the source provides a very stark, real-world example of this playing out. The story of lost guests, he calls it.
Ah, yes, the resort in Kerala. This is a perfect case study, really, showing how fast things can unravel and the actual business cost.
So picture this. A group of European yoga enthusiasts comes to the resort. Sounds like an ideal booking, right? Wellness focus, probably a longer stay.
Potential for repeat business, referrals within that community. Yeah, seems great. And initially, the source says the resort did things right.
Good greeting, rooms ready, food was tasty, the operational basics were sound.
Check, check, check.
But then came the critical error. Day 2, the staff started apparently repeatedly taking pictures of the guests and asking them personal questions.
Okay, right there. That's the cultural blind spot the source is highlighting. The staff may be thinking it's friendly or they need photos for marketing, whatever.
Completely failed to recognize how unsettling this would be for these guests. They didn't get the cultural norms around privacy, personal space, being photographed, especially for Europeans, maybe on a wellness retreat.
Yeah, people go on those retreats often seeking peace, quiet, introspection. not to be treated like tourist attractions by the staff.
What might seem like innocent curiosity in one culture was perceived as a major invasion of privacy by these guests. Their personal space, their retreat bubble, was being constantly pierced.
The source is blunt. The staff didn't see that their actions made the guests feel invaded. It wasn't a small slip. It was a fundamental misunderstanding of guest comfort.
And the impact, immediate and drastic. The guests felt so uncomfortable, so intruded upon, they packed up and left 2 days early.
Wow. Okay, so that's immediate lost revenue for those 2 nights.
Yeah.
But the damage didn't stop there.
Not even close. The source says they went online and posted a 1-star review.
Ouch. And you can just imagine what that review said. Felt constantly watched, no privacy, staff taking photos. That kind of feedback is absolutely toxic for a hotel's reputation, especially one trying to attract international clientele.
And of course, they never came back. So you lose the initial booking revenue, you get a terrible review, and you lose all potential future business from that group and likely their entire network.
Because yoga communities talk. Recommendations matter hugely. That one failure probably cost that resort way more than just those 2 nights' revenue.
It's such a clear, painful example from the source of how overlooking one specific cultural sensitivity, in this case, privacy and personal boundaries, can just completely wipe out all the other good things you might be doing, leads to real, measurable business loss.
It really underscores that cultural sensitivity isn't some fluffy nice to have. It's a hard-nosed business imperative. Ignoring it costs you money and reputation.
But thankfully, Arun Kumar Raman doesn't just leave us there feeling doomed. He pivots to the solution with a contrasting story. The transformation, cultural awareness, higher guest delight.
Yes, the hopeful part. This example comes from a property in Rajasthan that took a totally different approach.
And the key difference highlighted in the source. They made a conscious, strategic decision to train their team. It wasn't an afterthought, it was core to their strategy.
They invested in their people skills. And the source actually lists the kinds of things this training covered, which is really useful.
Yeah, it gives a practical roadmap. First up, basic etiquette for global guests. Foundational stuff.
Like what? Greetings, handshakes.
Exactly. Understanding different norms around handshakes, eye contact, personal space during chats, how to use titles and names respectfully, getting that first impression right across cultures.
Makes sense. What else?
Big focus on handling dietary preferences, and this went way beyond just asking any allergies.
Back to that potential pitfall. So understanding religious diets like halal or kosher or fasting periods.
But also things like veganism, gluten-free, other intolerances. The training was likely about the whole system, taking the information accurately, communicating it clearly to the kitchen, ensuring the right meal gets to the right person.
Getting food right is such a fundamental way to show you care and respect someone's choices or beliefs. It builds immediate trust.
Definitely. And crucially, their training also covered nonverbal cues and body language.
Okay, so picking up on those silent signals we talked about earlier.
Precisely. Training staff to notice and interpret, or at least respectfully clarify, different gestures, facial expressions, eye contact levels, posture, how close people stand.
So they can better gauge a guest's comfort, confusion, or unspoken needs. It helps avoid those misunderstandings based purely on different nonverbal styles. It's about learning to read the room, essentially.
They also covered specific religious and cultural do's and don'ts, equipping staff with practical knowledge.
Like being aware of major festivals, prayer times, maybe dress code norms, customs like taking shoes off, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Proactive awareness to avoid accidentally stepping on cultural toes, and just as importantly, to show informed respect.
That makes a huge difference. And there was one more element mentioned.
Yes, and it's quite insightful, knowing when not to talk.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's a subtle skill.
It really is. It's about teaching staff to recognize when a guest just wants quiet, maybe during a meal, or if they're reading or having a private chat, knowing when to give space.
So the exact opposite of the Kerala story, where the staff were overly intrusive. It's about being attentive but not overbearing.
Sometimes the best service is invisible service. Knowing when to step back is as vital as knowing when to step forward.
Okay, so this Rajasthan property did all this training. What were the results? The source most mentioned that.
Oh, it does. And they're impressive. They achieved outstanding 4.9-star ratings, specifically from their foreign guests.
Wow, 4.9. That's incredibly high.
Yeah.
And specifically from international travelers, the very group most likely to be affected by cultural sensitivity issues. That's quantitative proof it worked.
You can imagine those reviews talking about feeling welcomed, understood, respected.
And the source also says they got more referrals from travel agents.
Right. Which makes sense. Travel agents want to send their clients places where they know they'll have a smooth, positive experience. Cultural sensitivity is a big part of that assurance. So, more business coming through those channels.
And the ultimate sign of success.
An increase in repeat international bookings. Guests had such a good experience, felt so comfortable, they chose to come back.
That's the loyalty factor. Building that relationship with international guests is gold. And it sounds like it was directly linked to this focus on cultural awareness.
This example nails it, doesn't it? It shows clear as day that investing in this training isn't just soft skills. It directly drives satisfaction, reputation, partnerships, and repeat business. It's a strategic lever for growth.
It really reframes it as a core business activity, not just an HR thing.
So, taking inspiration from that success, Arun Kumar Raman then lays out a practical action plan. 5 concrete steps hotel owners can take right now.
Okay, let's hear them. Step 1.
Implement monthly cultural training sessions. The emphasis is on monthly. This isn't a one-off.
Right, needs to be ongoing. Continuous learning reinforcement, not just ticking a box once a year.
These sessions could rotate focus. Maybe one month it's Japanese culture, next month German, then Middle Eastern. Or deep dives into specific topics like nonverbals or dietary rules across cultures, using role play, guest feedback.
Keep it fresh and relevant. Okay, step 2.
Prepare guest cultural profile sheets. Basically, quick reference guides for staff about different nationalities.
Oh, like cheat sheets. That's smart. What would be on them?
Key info like typical greetings, maybe common dietary notes, tipping norms, views on punctuality or personal space, maybe even a few basic phrases like hello or thank you in their language.
Empowers the staff with easily digestible info right when they need it. Moves them away from guessing.
I like that.
Step 3.
Explicitly teach the do's and don'ts. Get specific.
So moving from general awareness to concrete actions like say this, don't say that, stand here, not too close.
Exactly. Provide clear scripts or guidelines for common interactions. Here's how to ask about dietary needs politely. Avoid these topics in small talk. Always knock and wait before entering. Tangible behaviors.
Got it. Step 4.
Encourage staff to ask, not assume. Foster a culture where it's okay, even encouraged, to clarify things politely.
Rather than guessing someone's name and getting it wrong or misinterpreting a request.
Right. Train them to say things like, could you please help me with the pronunciation of your name? Or, I want to be sure I understand correctly, could you clarify? Frame it as showing care and wanting to get it right, not as ignorance.
That builds trust too. Shows attentiveness. Okay, and the last step, number 5.
Use role-playing to practice. Bring the training to life.
Simulate those tricky situations, like dealing with indirect communication or someone who seems uncomfortable, or navigating that complex dietary request.
Exactly. Let staff practice their responses in a safe space. Get feedback. Build confidence before they face it with a real guest. It makes the learning stick.
Those 5 steps sound like a really solid framework. Practical, implementable. It gives hotel owners a clear path forward.
Definitely. It moves from just knowing the problem exists to actually doing something concrete about it, aiming for that Rajasthan success story.
And Arun Kumar Raman then zooms out again, looking at the bigger picture, why this matters on a global scale.
Yeah, he has that powerful line, the world is watching. Travelers want respect, not just comfort.
That really captures the current reality, doesn't it? With online reviews, social media, a hotel's reputation is instantly global. People considering visiting from halfway across the world can read about how previous guests felt.
And stories about feeling disrespected culturally, they carry enormous weight. So hotels are under this global microscope now. Demonstrating cross-cultural respect is crucial for attracting that international market.
So cultural sensitivity isn't just damage control. It becomes a genuine competitive advantage. It signals that your hotel is a safe, welcoming place for everyone, regardless of background.
And the source argues that this sensitivity is what really builds the deep stuff. Trust, connection, genuine loyalty. When a guest feels truly seen and respected for who they are.
That creates an emotional bond that goes way beyond just liking the room deoke that makes them want to come back.
And the ultimate prize, as Arun Kumar Raman puts it, if your staff get this right, guests become your promoters worldwide.
Instead of writing that damaging 1-star review, they write a glowing 5-star one. They tell their friends, their family, their online networks, you have to stay at this place. They really understood us.
That's the best marketing you could ever ask for. Authentic word of mouth, driven by genuine respect.
Powerful stuff.
Arun Kumar Raman wraps up the section with some final thoughts that are simple but profound. He says, in hospitality, words matter, gestures matter, and tone matters.
Every little interaction adds up, doesn't it? The language used, the facial expression, the way someone speaks, it all contributes to that overall feeling of being valued or not.
And his final piece of advice is tenocling clear. Train your team to understand guests beyond language.
Beyond just the dictionary meaning of words, it's about empathy, observation, understanding the cultural context underneath.
Building that awareness of the invisible cultural lines that shape how people see the world and expect to be treated. And the payoff, a small change in staff behavior.
Can create a big change in your hotel's reputation. And as we saw with the Rajasthan example, that improved reputation leads directly to better business results, higher ratings, more referrals, repeat guests, a stronger bottom line.
It firmly positions cultural sensitivity not as a cost center, but as a strategic investment for success in today's global hospitality landscape.
Absolutely. So stepping back from this deep dive into mistake number 40 from Arun Kumar Raman's series, the message for you as hotel owners seems incredibly clear.
Yeah, ignoring cultural sensitivity training isn't just a small oversight, it's a major risk. It can alienate guests, tarnish your reputation globally, and really hurt your business.
But the flip side is just as strong. Investing in this training isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about creating real opportunities. Opportunities to build trust, forge genuine connections, and turn happy guests from all over the world into your best advocates.
It's about actively building an environment where everyone feels truly welcome.
And as you think about putting these ideas into practice, maybe rolling out those monthly sessions or creating those profile sheets, it does leave us with a final thought to consider.
Hmm.
Well, given that cultural understanding isn't something you just learn once and you're done, it's a lifelong journey. Cultures evolve, you encounter new ones.
Right, it's always changing.
So the question becomes, how can you as a hotel foster a continuous culture of learning and curiosity among your staff? How do you make sure they're always growing, always getting better at making every single guest, no matter where they're from, feel genuinely seen, truly understood, and completely welcome?
That's a great question. Something important to ponder as you work to really elevate that guest experience beyond the basics.